Peace to everybody, back with another video. This is Kobe Bryant helicopter. Didn't have black box. LASD patrolling crash site. And as you can see here is Kobe Bryant himself, who had died Sunday morning in Calabasas, California, along with his daughter Gianna Bryant and other passengers as well. The NTSB revealed the helicopter was not equipped with a black box, nor was it required to be. There was, however, an iPad on board used to flight itineracy, weather conditions, and other flight elements that investigators will look at. The NTSB is also asking the public for photos of the weather in the area Sunday morning to determine flying conditions. Yes, so the NST did reveal that the helicopter was not equipped with a black box, and nor was it required to be. But however, they did have an iPad on board used in flight in itinerary weather conditions on other flight elements. The NTSB is also asking the public for photos of the weather in the area Sunday morning to determine flight conditions. So they want to know what the flight conditions were like and what was the weather like yesterday morning in Calabasas, California. And here, as you can see here, is the screenshot of what happened. And of course, there are two people on horses because they wouldn't have been able to make it on foot or something. I don't know. The LA County Sheriff's Office has created a perimeter around the crash site with officers on ATV and horseback to make sure no one gets close to the wreck. All right, so the Sheriff's Office, the LA County Sheriff's Office has created a perimeter. So that means no one is allowed to get close to the wreckage or anything because they want to keep everybody away from the wreckage. They don't want nobody near that place. And here is the crash site itself in this photo. The NTSB is minutes away from a press conference about the crash. We will have the whole thing live here. Of course, you know, with the videos, I don't play no videos in my articles because it's a big no-no. And plus TMZ, they're real picky about their videos being played. The pilot of the helicopter carrying Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 6 other passengers got in big trouble with fog. They seemed to abort the trip and tried returning home, barely clearing the one mountain range, but never slowed down. This, according to the flight tracker and several experienced helicopter pilots in the LA area. So the pilot of that helicopter who was carrying Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 6 other passengers, they ran into a little trouble with the fog. They seemed to abort the trip and tried returning home, but they couldn't. So they were barely clearing one mountain range, but never slowed down. This according to the flight tracker and several experienced helicopter pilots in the LA area. So in the LA area, the pilots know what is what on the weather tracker, so they know if that area has fog conditions, rainy conditions, or anything around that area. As we reported, the pilot had to circle near the downtown LA area, near the LA Zoo, for 15 minutes because of bad weather ahead. As we reported, the LAPD has grounded its helicopter fleet because of fog at around the same time Kobe's helicopter took off. So they had to circle around near the downtown LA area and of course the LA Zoo for 15 minutes because of bad weather. And when there's a bad weather, you really can't be around in that area. The LAPD has grounded its helicopter fleet because of fog at around the same time Kobe's helicopter took off. And as you see, here's the video of it, which I will not play. The pilot was following a visual flight plan and was cleared by the tower to proceed north toward Thousand Oaks, where Kobe was taking his daughter for a basketball game. When he got to the Calabasas area, the fog became blinding. Yes, so the fog was becoming blinding. Kobe was taking his daughter to a basketball game, and the pilot was following a visual flight plan, and it was cleared by the tower to proceed north of it, of the area, towards Thousand Oaks, where Kobe was taking his daughter to a basketball game. As we reported, the pilot was way too low at 1,250 feet. The pilots we spoke with say it's clear based on the abrupt change on the flight tracker. The pilot panicked and quickly ascended to 2,000 feet. We're told he cleared a mountain range by 100 feet. And the pilots we spoke with say he was so low he almost certainly saw the tops of the mountain. So the pilot was way low. He was at 1,250 feet. Now the other pilots, they spoke why would say it's clear based on the abrupt change on the flight tracker. So the flight tracker is not always accurate at all because it could change here and there. The pilot panicked and quickly ascended 2,000 feet. We're told he cleared one mountain range by 100 feet. And the pilots we spoke with say he was so low he almost certainly saw the tops of the mountain. So he almost saw the tops of the mountain, the pilot did, who was flying Kobe's helicopter. And here it is in the video, which I will not play, is the helicopter of Kobe Bryant. The pilots we spoke with, all of whom have extensive experience, say based on the flight tracker and the accident scene, they believe the pilot felt he had cleared all of the mountains and was proceeding to head back when he hit another mountain. The pilot clearly did not know there were mountains ahead because he actually descended from 2,000 feet to 1,700 feet, presumably to go under the fog. So the pilot tried to go under the fog, but he couldn't. So he descended from 2,000 feet to 1,700 feet. So that's how low he was flying, because he wanted to avoid the fog, but unfortunately that didn't happen. The pilots we spoke with, all of whom have extensive experience. So there were other pilots that have extensive experience. They say, based on the flight tracker and the accident scene, they believe the pilot felt he had cleared all of the mountains and was proceeding to head back when he hit another mountain. So the pilot, he thought he cleared all the mountains except for one. But then that's when he had took it and hit another mountain, and that's what made the helicopter crash. Even more baffling, we've been told the pilot was extremely experienced flying in that area and was even a flight instructor. One seasoned helicopter pilot told TMZ he could not understand why Kobe's pilot would have maintained a speed of 161 knots in such dense fog. One of the benefits of a helicopter is you can go much slower, even 15 miles per hour, to gingerly avoid terrain if you're uncertain. So the pilot could have gone slower, but speeding at 161 knots, that's a little fast 15 miles per hour. He could have gone much slower on that speed. But what's baffling is that he was an extremely experienced flying in that area, and he was even a flight instructor. So this is what one seasoned helicopter pilot told TMZ. Our sources say the chopper was suffocated and had an altitude warning signal to pull up, but it was too late. As we said, he was doing 161 knots and didn't slow down. The helicopter hit the mountain at that speed. Yeah, so at 161 knots, it hit the mountain at that speed. And he could have slowed down to 15 miles per hour, but he didn't. Several of the pilots we spoke with say the pilot should have gone up to clear the fog rather than down. To that end, we're told the pilot could have slowed down to almost the top as he turned, but didn't. Yeah, so there were several other pilots that they spoke with and say the pilot should have gone up to clear the fog, but he didn't. To that end, we're told the pilot could have slowed down at almost a stop as he turned, but didn't. So the helicopter pilot never turned, and he just went right into the mountain, killing everybody on board. My condolences go to Vanessa, Bryant, and her 3 daughters, along with the loved ones of the families who were also on board and the extended families. Leave your comments below. I am out.